Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 1 of VSH versus HNB. Victoria's Secret versus Hyper Ninja Beam. Victoria's Secret starting a blue side this game. Week 1 of BCal. Now, from the looks of it, some pretty interesting team comps coming out from both teams. Lulu support, not something that I've seen, well, not even just Valorant playing, but just in general. Lulu being highly favored top or mid in this weird pseudo protect Rambo, but not really comp. Over on the other side, Hyper Ninja Beam having that Morgana top, Black Shield, not that bad against the possible stun coming out from Kennen, but a little bit of a trade. Planeswalker going in on Sloppy. Sloppy dropping dangerously low, having his bot lane come in to push Planeswalker out of there. They're both top, both Sloppy and Planeswalker just gonna recall before minions spawn. Now it looks like there is a lane swap happening from Hyper Ninja Beam. I don't think that VS know about it, though they did have a ward in Hyper Ninja Beam's red. So that's interesting. I think this might be the first lane swap I have seen in BCal ever. So let's see how Planeswalker deals with that. Kennen, not the worst champion to be facing that 2 versus 1. Though if Hyper Ninja Beam do this freeze properly, Planeswalker will be denied that farm and level advantage. Could have maybe followed Waffle Waffle to get that level 2. But regardless, it looks like Rambo and Valorant are just going to fast push this bottom, forcing Morgana to last hit underneath turret. Now, I think she started binding, so she won't be able to wave clear with Tormented Soil. Yeah, she did. So they will punish that. Right now, so far, Planeswalker in the lead by 2 CS in this lane swap as of now. Now, this isn't a terrible choice coming out from Victoria's Secret, considering the fact that if they do fast push this turret down and then swap the top lane, or their duo top, it will work out for them, but they will probably need to call Waffle Waffle, seeing as Planeswalker is not actually getting that much, not getting that poked out or zoned. Again, Kennen, not the worst person, still able to farm with that Q. Now, it depends what Waffle Waffle does. He is going to take his double buffs and recall. Now, I would like to see him come down here, help push this wave. Maybe even come in for an early dive onto that Morgana. And possibly take a turret or dragon out of it. But, again, I think both teams kind of caught a little bit unaware. Thankfully, Phoenix is able to get all this XP with the fast push. Might not be able to farm that well under turret, but both top laners will be fine and have that level advantage. Meanwhile, mid lane, it is all the Zed show right now, taking that early CS lead. As pretty standard. Sloppy giving Looney Tune a lot of respect in that, but there it is. Solobacks going on to Planeswalker. Nice rend, chunking him a little bit. Now Phoenix is right now, as Rambo is frantically trying to get that turret down. Meanwhile, a Planeswalker in the top lane just chugging those pots along. Both of them down for the count. He really just needs to stay in lane for as long as possible. If he gets poked out, he will miss a lot of presence, and the tower might actually go back. Phoenix going quite aggro on Rambo, taking a big chunk of damage. He does have Panpu, though, around the dragon pit. I think Panpu is just going to be taking that scuttle, granting vision of that dragon, avoiding any shenanigans. Meanwhile, in response, Waffle Waffle does take the top scuttle for himself as well. Just making sure it does keep Planeswalker pretty safe there, just in case the Jarvan did decide to come in. Tower diving a cannon, probably not the smartest thing you can do, especially considering the fact that he is going to hit 6 pretty soon. Meanwhile, Solo Max going deep onto Planeswalker. Exhaust actually being dropped, but Symbiote not on the same page as his support. As Planeswalker actually gets away with his life right now. Phoenix did go back and TP'd back into lane, picking himself out, Amplifying Tome. But Deathmark going out to Sloppy. Looney Tune doing a lot of damage. He is exhausted though. Deathmark will pop as Ignite ticks, but it looks like he is going to be A-OK. Phoenix getting under fire. Yeah, forced to flash as exhaust is dropped on him. Rambo is out of mana right now. Will not be able to pick up that kill. Both top laners dropping very low. But the respective ADCs just not able to finish off the kill. Meanwhile, it looks like Panpu is wanting to go into Looney Tune, knowing that Deathmark and Ignite is gone. But Waffle Waffle will spot out Panpu, forcing him back into his jungle. Nice pressure from Vi. Rambo again with Valorant trying to get this turret in. They're actually doing a lot more damage to the turret than HyperNinja Beam's top lane. Sloppy getting dangerously low right there. So much poke coming out from Looney Tune, as he has yet to even go back yet, sporting almost that 10 CS lead in the mid lane. Meanwhile, the story of the top laners, Planeswalker actually doubling the CS advantage of Phoenix down there. I think HyperNinja Beam thinking that Morgana can farm easily with 3 points in that Tormented Soil, but Rambo and Valorant just putting so much pressure onto Phoenix, and he is not able to do that. Papu trying to find out what he can do down in the bot lane, but he is only level 4, and Phoenix is out of mana, deciding that he can't find anything there. Will go back into his jungle. His blue buff should be spawning soon. Going for that second round of buffs. Waffle Waffle is actually going to take his red now. Now, this might be a good time for Victoria's Secret to maybe take a dragon, knowing that Phoenix just recalled and is not there. His TP is on cooldown right now, so there wouldn't be any pressure in dragon, but it looks like Waffle Waffle is just going to clear out his jungle, maybe help out Planeswalker in the top lane after taking that blue. Symbiote and Solo Max only now working away at that top tower. Meanwhile, Rambo will finally get that bottom turret. Planeswalker going in with actually slicing Maelstrom. Symbiote having to get out of there, dropping below half. Planeswalker doing well to kind of keep his poke up. Actually has a needlessly large rod. Ultimate coming out of Symbiote as Solo Max will actually go away. Silver Soul Taker is going to come in for the gank. Q does miss. Zenith Blade does land, but Papu is here for the counter gank, and it looks like VS just needs to get out of there, seeing as they are outmatched. Meanwhile, mid Deathmark goes on to Sloppy. There is no exhaust down there. Sloppy is dropping quite low, forced to flash out, but Deathmark not going to be able to do enough damage. Surprising considering the fact that Looney Tune is already on that Cutlass. Oh, but a large poke coming out with that WQ combo. Panpu might get caught out of here as Valorant is up there. Slow does land. Silver Soul Taker will not land that Q thanks to the swag flag of J4. Meanwhile, Sloppy is trying to defend his middle turret, but that is a mistake as Looney Tune picks up first blood. Meanwhile, top lane is going to be a TP from Phoenix Genesis. It's going to be a 4-on-4 up in the top lane, and it looks like HyperNinja Beam is just going to clear out that wave, not really going in, but Planeswalker does get caught out with a binding. Symbiote is pretty low. Ultimate's up for pretty much everyone up here. Valorant continuously poke. Planeswalker gets caught out with it. EQ combo coming up from Papu, but he gets polymorphed and it just falls down too. Solo Max is going to drop really low. Assault and Battery from Silver Soul Taker will drop Callista, and it's actually going to be a sweep. Double for Planeswalker up in the top lane, and it's going to be a 4-for-0 trade and the top turret in favor of Victoria's Secret. That fight definitely exploded right there. I could see Pampu trying to come in for the gank, but there was just so much focus coming out from VS, denying him the damage. His team just a little bit slow on the get-go on that. And so far, VS sitting on a perfect game for everybody. Deathmark going again on Sloopy. Shield Battery, nice Shockwave dropping Looney Tune as he's exhausted. Not actually, volley actually really low, forced to flash out. Denies Sloppy the kill. A little bit sloppy on Sloppy's part there. Going a little bit too ham on that. Can't really finish considering he is just sitting on that arm guard. Meanwhile, Pampu is going to just pick up his blue. I'm surprised they didn't take it. Actually, Silver Soul Taker smites that away from Pampu. Probably did not have smite available to him. That's right, it was just on cooldown. I'm surprised they didn't give that over to Sloppy. He could have definitely used a blue buff to fend off that Zed. Meanwhile, Valorant is actually going on to Phoenix Genesis. Does get caught out by that binding. VS Rambo trying to back it up along with Silver Soul Taker. But it looks like they're just going to posture for that dragon. Meanwhile, Planeswalker has rotated mid. Sloppy is as we speak. Looney Tune getting back into lane. It looks like they are just going to pressure that mid as they all rotate for this dragon. Pampu is here. Spots Planeswalker out. But HyperNinja Beam are in no position to contest this dragon. And it's going to be a free dragon going over to VS. Rambo gets caught out of the binding as Phoenix Genesis gets polymorphed, but Silver Soul Taker does land the Q. Slicing Maelstrom will drop it, and Silver Soul Taker will pick up the kill. Big Cataclysm dropped onto 2 members of VS, but it's not going to be enough as Solo Max also falls to Looney Tune, and another 2-for-0 trade for VS. Meanwhile, a Symbiote actually was left alone in the top lane, will pick himself up a tower, but really, at what cost for his team? And it looks like it's just the VS show here. 13 minutes into the game. I doubt VS is too heartbroken about losing that top turret, as they were able to get 2 kills, the dragon and the middle T1 tower. Now, with HyperNinja Beam down 7k gold, 13 minutes in this game, a dragon with all T1s as well. They're going to be hard pressed. Vision is dominant, mind you, excuse me, for VS right now. Definitely doing a great job warding. Unfortunately, they don't have any deep wards, so I kind of want to see Valorant put in some deep wards. Definitely should use the buddy system. Take a Silver Soul to help clear out HyperNinja Beam's wards in their jungle, get some deep ones in, considering the fact that they should be able to out-rotate HyperNinja Beam. Valorant getting caught in the Dragon Pit right now, trying to bait Rambo, but is just forced to flash out. EQ coming from Pampu, but he has no team to follow him up. The mistake coming up from Pampu, able to flash over back out to save his life, but a little bit over-eager from Pampu. Actually, Q hitting from Planeswalker, the W is enough. Planeswalker getting an easy kill onto Pampu. 3-0-4 on that cannon. Already finished. That Zanya's Valorant might be a little ahead of his team, but VS looking very confident and pushing their lead, flexing those muscles. Meanwhile, the Shockwave misses, but Rambo gets caught out of the blind. Soul Shackles coming in from Phoenix will hit on Rambo, but meanwhile, Planeswalker going off in the backline. Big slicing Maelstrom, and actually, Phoenix goes down to Silver as they are going to siege this T2 mid tower. Unfortunately, Planeswalker was not able to cat any kills with that ultimate, as Rambo will try to chip away at that T2 tower, but it looks like all of Hyper Ninja Beam is here to defend it. But meanwhile, Looney Tune is just up there split pushing on that Zed. TP forced out from Phoenix, as he was the one to follow that fight. Clear that out with that Tormented Soil. Now, Hyper Ninja Beam do have the tools necessary to stall out this game with that crazy wave clear that they have. Now, they just need to make sure that they watch the dives and rotate the appropriate number of people in, but the Looney Tune will just go on to Phoenix. Deathmark will pop. Unfortunately, Black Shield not going to soak up any of that damage, but Looney Tune did take one too many tower shots, actually dropping below half. Valorant in a little bit of a questionable place right now. Rambo 1-0-8, having a lot of assists right now. Not finished his Infinity Edge, but Planeswalker gets caught out with a bind. Forces Zanya's Wild Growth is popped on him. Panpu drops the Cataclysm on 3 members of VS. They do shut down Planeswalker, but Panpu pays with it his life. Meanwhile, Callisto will take on Looney Tune as well. So far, it's a 3-for-1 trade. Hyper Ninja Beam coming out. They are going to try to get Valorant, though. Double kill for Symbiote person. They definitely want to have all their kills on right now. Valorant looks like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Solo and Symbiote are there, but Symbiote wants nothing to do with Valorant. A little bit scared. Oh, but Symbiote, there you go. Finally picks up the kill. I was going to be questioning. I was going to take his Callista card if he was scared of a support Lulu. That is not, in fact, a top Lulu Symbiote. Only sitting on that Frost Fang. Oh, actually, Morellonomicon finished for Valorant. Interesting pickup. Not really sure about that pick. I would much rather have seen a Chalice, or even wow, I am blanking. The AP movement speed item that builds out of the movement speed and Forbidden Idol that increases attack speed. Oh god, that's going to bug me. It's not an item that I build often, but it does have its uses, considering that Rambo wouldn't mind that extra attack speed as well with a Lulu shield. If he wanted a little bit of AP. Morellonomicon, questionable pick. But Deathmark actually going on to Sloopy. He will Zhonya's that out, but he Zhonya's a little too early as the Deathmark will pop. Ignite, though, gets cancelled down. Drops the exhaust on him. Sloopy misses with a Shockwave, and that will cost him his life. Planeswalker will Zhonya's as well. The EQ combo. Papu will drop the Cataclysm on him, though. Meanwhile, on the back of it, Silver Soul Taker will take out the dragon. Lots of damage coming. Shut down onto Symbiote from Rambo, as Genesis will pick up a double kill off of that. Solomax dropping quite low in that fight, but does get out alive. Valorant has almost no HP, needs to get out of there. Rambo likes his chances, though. Needs to watch out for that EQ combo. Phoenix is sitting on no mana. Panpu getting chunked out by Rambo, going quite aggro on him. Meanwhile, Valorant is going to continue split pushing that top lane. Phoenix, it does not have any mana. Rambo doing a ton of damage to him as he has already completed that Infinity Edge on him. Meanwhile, Valorant is still sticking around, trying to help out his ADC, even though he has no health. And they are just going to take out this T2 as they were able to push back Hyper Ninja Beam. And they do end up canceling that TP back from Phoenix Genesis as they destroy that T2 bottom turret. Meanwhile, the split push from Looney Tune has been stopped thanks to Sloppy coming up there. But with Looney Tune able to duel Sloppy right now, Sloppy being really, really sloppy with those shockwaves, costing him his life. A little bit of a disappointment there. Would have been able to win out those trades against that said early on, but now a little bit outclassed considering the fact that Blade of the Ruined King and Last Whisper are fully completed for Looney Tune. Now it looks like a lot of Hyper Ninja Beam are posturing around that top jungle. Planeswalker does spot out a Phoenix as he does poke him quite a bit. I would definitely like to see the Abyssal Scepter coming out from Looney Tune, considering the double AP comp. Going to be able to shred that MR with that Slicing Maelstrom. Phoenix Justice clearing out that Baron Pit, not wanting VS to get a free Baron, so to speak, considering the fact that they are so much in the driver's seat right now. 10k gold advantage for VS, as Hyper Ninja Beam will answer with a T1 turret mid. It looks like VS is not in a position to contest this, and they really don't at this moment right now. 21 minutes into the game, as knocking on the inhibs. But you can come out from Papu. Meanwhile, Looney Tunes, the split push coming on Phoenix Genesis. Nice death mark, but Soul Shackles is going to pick up the kill for him. Meanwhile, big Slicing Maelstrom from Planeswalker will just clean up all 4 members that were present from Hyper Ninja Beam. And though Phoenix was able to stop Looney Tune actually picking up the kill onto... Sorry, Phoenix able to stop the split push from Looney Tune and picking up the kill. Phoenix really just has no team. Silver Soul Taker actually falling towards the turret. And oh my goodness, just sloppy play from VS right now. Getting a little over eager for that inhibitor. Phoenix will actually pick up a kill. Maybe 2 off the backside of this. Planeswalker will try to duel Phoenix. He does have Rambo coming in. He'll pop from Rambo to save his top laner as he goes on to Phoenix. But he is right now as he decides to just get out of dodge. Probably smart right now. Oh, but ulti from Symbiote will catch Rambo. Exhaust being dropped by Sloppy. He's going to fall. And the shutdown gold going over to Symbiote. VS. Oh no. Turning a good fight into quite a horrible one. Again, a little overextending on the lead. But in all honesty, even with that mistake right now, VS still in a commanding position. 11k gold up, 2 dragons up. Knocking on those inhib. Top inhib is actually exposed right now, thanks to the split push from Planeswalker, while all of that was going on. VS definitely a couple items ahead of their counterparts right now, and each member having a pink ward. Oh man, and Looney Tune will just easily dispatch Phoenix. Solo will go on to Valorant, but Silver Soul Taker is there. Solo getting quite low. Papu trying to save his support. And it looks like the rest of Hyper Ninja Beam will join the fight, making Silver and Valorant back off. Meanwhile, Planeswalker is there. Looney Tune continuing the split push. No one really can duel him right now. Trying to work away at that first inhib. Zenith Blade not connecting in that force solo. And honestly, I love this. No matter how ahead you think you are, it's always safe to just buy wards. And considering the fact that VS knows how far ahead they are, each member having a pink ward, that disposable income, big Slicing Maelstrom though coming out from Planeswalker, zoning out all of Hyper Ninja Beam as they pick up the 2 inhibitors of this game. Papu going pretty deep, drops the Cataclysm, but Rambo just dashes out. Papu will fall immediately as Solo actually follows too. Valorant will fall as well, but it's just a cleanup from VS. Double kill on Looney Tune, but VS does pick up the ace, and they're just knocking on the Nexus turret right now. And even though Well, even though the death timers are so short, considering that it's only 25 minutes, it's going to be a surrender vote coming out from Hyper Ninja Beam. 25-minute win for VS in game 1 in absolute dominant fashion.